up, y'all? Welcome back to Big Bro and Little Sis Reacts. I'm Tomas. This is Tad.
Hey.
And today we are on Attack on Titan, Season 4, Episode 10, A Sound Argument. I imagine this episode is probably going to be the debate between Eren and everybody else about what he did and how they feel about it, basically. And now Sasha's dead, so I'm sure they got some even stronger opinions about what happened. Because Eren has his, I really don't care how y'all feel, this is what needed to be done. We know from last episode, everybody else was kind of like wanting to negotiate with them, wanting to give them a chance. But now Eren took that out of their hands because he didn't want to do that. He wanted to fight, and he wanted to get revenge. So he got what he wanted. So we'll see what the consequences.
Cost of Sasha's life.
Yeah, so we'll see where this goes. I just kind of am interested to see kind of this new Eren is at and how he interacts with our group again. So that'll be quite interesting. But full and early reactions are available on Patreon. Let's get started.
So fight. Just fight.
What are you doing? I mean, you're clearly muttering to yourself while staring at your reflection.
He's a lot taller.
But when you say, so fight, just fight, who is it you're wanting to fight? I noticed that you said fight twice. Does that mean you'll fight two fights or one fight with 2 rounds? This doesn't seem normal at all to me. I've never chatted up my mirror before.
I know she lied.
Right.
I had faith in you. I trusted that you would never sacrifice Historia.
Wait, what? Sacrifice Historia. Did he do something? And
yeah, I think he did. Like how last episode he was in court and he was talking about.
That was a flashback. He was protecting Historia though back then. He was like, he's telling himself, I don't want to tell them because I was worried about what they would do to Historia. So does that mean he now did something with Historia?
Maybe they were trying to protect Historia after he told them, and then he was the one they were protecting her from.
I don't know, but she made it sound like he did something, but I'm sure they'll elaborate on that because he needs Historia to activate the rumbling. So, well, I mean, I guess he could probably use, I don't know if Zeke would count. I don't know. He probably wouldn't. Oh boy, flashback.
Eren, it's been a year now. I haven't seen you since you picked up our whole ship. I look forward to working beside you.
Too bad. You won't be working with Eren directly.
Dang, Levi's so dang short now.
I told you he was short.
Why do I feel like he was always taller than everybody. I mean, they were kids.
Look, he's the shortest.
From
Why
the
is he
soul
so
nation
damn
that's friendly
short?
to Parody, Hizuru.
I swear
The
he was
special
not that
envoy
short. I'm about to go back
is
and
Kiyomi
rewatch.
Azumabito.
Because he was taller than them. But I mean, I think they just grew. Because I'm not crazy. I would have noticed that.
That shape.
Yeah, you should show it to them.
You think? But Mom told me that I should keep it a secret.
You showed it to me back when we were just kids. This could be the whole reason she gave it to you. Go on.
Before she died, my mom gave me this mark to match one she had herself. And she asked me to pass it down to my own children.
A noble deed befitting your lineage. Over a century ago, Hizuru Shogun was an ally of the Eldian Empire. We Azumabitos trace our lineage back to a son who was on good terms with King Fritz and often visited here. A child fathered by the Shogun's heir was somehow left behind on this island. You are the only direct descendant of the family that once led our nation. Put simply, you are Hizuru's hope.
What? Are they trying to say she's technically the rightful leader of their people?
Yeah.
By being a descendant of their leaders?
Yep.
Zeke Yeager's proposal was that we ally with and assist Paradis in exchange for access to a resource that could return our nation to its former glory. It's a rather tempting offer. Thus, while we're aware that he made this offer without surveying your reserves, We suspect that in this modern era, a treasure like Iceburst Stone could change the world and generate a fortune in the process.
What would you assist us with?
As I'm sure you're aware, he's concocted a plan to protect Eldia and the world. We're here because this plan can only succeed with Hizuru's assistance. It calls for a 3-point course of action which would allow you to defend yourselves with your so-called rumbling. This would begin with a test run of the rumbling. You would unleash a fraction of the Titans in your walls, enough to display their destructive potential for all the world to see. That will buy you time with which to modernize and strengthen your army so as to render the rumbling unnecessary. You're 100 years behind the rest of the world. Hizuru will help you catch up. Zeke will pass on the Beast Titan to an individual who has royal blood. And that person must spend the 13 years they'll have left, bearing as many children as possible.
Even if we get advanced weapons,
Historia, that's why
will
he
we
was
really
afraid to
stop
tell them
needing
that.
the rumbling? If we choose to rely on it, we'll have to continue the practice of Titan inheritance for generations. I see how it could protect us for the time being, but is that enough of an excuse for us to push this problem onto our descendants?
If the rumbling is essential to our survival,
Really? So Eren must have tried this and something happened to her in the process because he doesn't know how to exactly do it. This is a mess.
He can go to hell and take his sick little plan with him. Staking our survival on the threat of the rumbling is a dangerous move. So before we commit to it, we should try to find another way. Let's use what time we have to look at our options.
Well, at least at this point, we know he's against doing that. He's the only one that can do it, so.
I still don't get why you acted on your own. You pushed our island into a war we aren't ready to fight. Why? Did you stop caring about Historia?
I've taken the Warhammer Titan's power. Its hardening ability allows me to build structures from thin air, or carve them into earth and stone. Which means you can never build a prison deep or strong enough to hold me in against my will. I can leave this cell anytime I want.
That's true.
So tell me, Hanji, is there anything you actually can do?
Eren!
You know something I don't, then let's hear it! If you've got something up your sleeve, then tell me what it is!
Bruh!
Hands off, you pervert! Ever the rebellious teen, huh? Grow up!
What happened to him? What in the hell?
You need to take better care of yourself.
And she's pregnant. Don't tell me that's Eren's baby. Pause it. This episode is just insane. And nothing even happened yet. But everything is happening. That's crazy. Okay. Hizuru, a small eastern nation with its own unique culture whose head of state is called a shogun. Producing many talented engineer, Hizuru has flourished in weapons and aircraft development and was a one-time ally of the Eldian Empire. The crest of the shogun depicts 3 single-edged swords in its design. So this episode's flying by, so let me process what just happened. Basically says Mikasa, somewhere along one of her ancestors was the leader of them. They accidentally got left behind on the island because they used to do dealings. And the Mikasa's family line was stuck here, and now they're all dead besides her, so she's technically would have been in royalty to them. She would have been in charge there now. Zeke's plan is to scare the world with Eren's ability of using the rumbling, but Eren didn't want to do that. But Zeke also wanted to continue to pass down these abilities, so he wanted to have as many babies, Historia to have as many babies as she could. So there's royal blood within the walls that could inherit these abilities and hold them.
Yeah, I guess.
Because is it that people only... No, that can't be right. This is where I start getting confused. Because people don't need royal blood to be...
So they can control the foundation.
They only need to be royal just to control the founding.
Right.
Yeah. So they want to make sure that they have multiple royal children, so in case something happens to one of them. Because I think right now Historia is the only one.
Yeah, she is.
So they're worried she has to die off at some point. Plus, it seems like they want to give one of the children one of the abilities. So I don't know. This is all insane. Let's just continue and see what they say, because my mind is getting blown right now.
We're already halfway there.
He worked hard and kept his head down for years there. She approached him in the end.
I don't give a
so
damn
it's
about
not
their
Aaron's
love
baby.
story. Look, what
No,
I'm
it's some
concerned
random
about
guy.
is why the girl selfishly decided to get herself knocked up when she did. And I think I've got a good guess. Somebody told her that it would stop us from turning her into a Titan. I bet it was that turncoat yelling, "Hey, Marley, get us another bottle."
Can we not
As you
treat
wish,
them
sir.
how they treat us over there?
Great. Niccolo, you should recommend this one.
What is going on? There's too much. So they're building railroads now.
us to do? Nope. They'd have hired someone. If that idiot hadn't opened his mouth and volunteered our help.
We can develop the island and our muscles at the same time, my ass.
Oh, they strong.
Not some of the greatest warriors in history building a railroad. Are we for real? Y'all kind of got some of them other lazy bums that don't do nothing inside the walls,
Right.
and offering them some money to do this.
You brats got taller. It's like you're
See,
sprouting
I
up
told
just
you
to
he
spite
was
me.
taller than them. I'm not crazy.
Oh, the same height.
They can't want us to repeat the past, so why won't they consider peace?
Probably because they don't know better. They don't know anything about us, and that makes them afraid.
I agree. Our neighbors across the sea won't trust people whose faces they've never seen. So let's sail out and meet them. If they don't know anything about us, then we'll just have to teach them. That's what we scouts always do,
Yes.
right?
We can just find a way to convince the world that all we want is peace. Maybe our situation will change.
Aaron screwed all this up, and for what? I need to know why.
My time will be up in just over 5 years. We need to make a decision soon about who to give my Titan
That's
to.
what he's worried about his time.
I think it should be me.
That's
No,
what he
not
did.
an option. We don't
Mika
even
said he
know if
wanted the
Ackermans
Titan.
are able to turn into Titans. And even if you could, Hizuru would be furious about it. You're their long-lost heir, remember? It can't be you for more reasons than I can count.
Who do you think it should be?
This guy. First of all, I'm a whole lot
Of
smarter
course.
than Aaron. We'd replace this suicidal maniac with a gifted leader who shows good judgment in all situations. A rare specimen who can perform whatever duty is required.
You should aim to become the regiment's next commander. I'll inherit Aaron's Titan myself.
Connie as a Titan.
You're way too much of an idiot.
Oh.
Use your head, Connie. This is a really important duty, and we can't entrust it to someone who's slow like you.
I'm not planning on handing it down to any of you because you're important to me more than anyone else.
So he just did it because he's like, screw it, I'm about to die anyway, and I want my revenge. I
Yeah.
don't think peace will work, and if it doesn't, I'm not going to be around long enough to... If it does work, I won't be around long enough to see it, so I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking.
They're all red.
Did that guy look like Aaron when you all saw him? Because if you ask me, that wasn't Aaron. And if whoever
Is
that
this in
was
time, Jack?
is capable of picking his
Yes.
half-brother over
This
us,
is present day.
If he is, then what?
then I say we'll need to be prepared to cut him down ourselves if
I
necessary.
won't let you.
Oh,
Are you taking their side too, Mikasa?
yes.
Come on.
She always has. This should not be a surprise. She will cut you guys in two. Is it possible Zeke can control Aaron?
If we hadn't helped him, his plan would have failed.
Yeah, and Sasha would be alive right now. Hey, what do you think Aaron did when I told him she had died? The bastard laughed. I wonder what part of our friend's death that it was. That he found so damn amusing.
Right. Connie's onto something.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not Aaron. Connie brought up
We
a good
need to
point.
talk
That
to
is
him.
not Aaron.
Just Aaron, Mikasa, and me. We'll give him a chance to explain his goal.
Are you sure that'll help?
Yes.
Tell me, what if his goals are the same as Zeke's?
The volunteers gave us Titan serum, so we have a choice now. We can choose to turn someone who we can trust into a Titan, and then have them inherit the founder from Eren.
Dang. But that's going to be hard because he's going to fight back. He already just told Hanji. Nah, see. Why they have to make a point to show that ending like that? I got some thoughts. We're going to talk when it gets to the end.
Gabi and Falco escape from their cell.
What?
They wander, lost and alone, through the wilderness, till they find themselves saved by one of the devils they've been taught to hate. Next episode, Deceiver.
So are they gonna see that they're not that bad people once they get found by those? That's what I'm thinking. But since it's called Deceiver, somebody's being deceived. So either they're not just gonna escape. Ain't nobody ever just escape. They're letting them escape to see what they're gonna do. Mm-hmm. And so that may be the deceiving. Maybe they're trying to convince them. Maybe they realize because they're younger and that they don't want to be. Well, maybe some of the other people didn't want to be converted either, but there might be harder to, since they've been conditioned so much, since they were training to be warriors, it might be harder for them to come around to maybe they're letting them out and purposely letting them find this family. Maybe this family's undercover. Maybe they're conditioned to trick these people into being nice to them and converting them and showing them that they're not devils, but we'll see. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first? What are my thoughts? So Connie brought up a great point. Eren might be being controlled. And let me tell you, we've seen in the beginning of the season, Zeke was able to scream. Remember when all those people jumped out the planes, their bodies were like those parachutes or whatever? He screamed as Beast Titan, and all those people turned instantly into the regular Titans. Remember that? First episode. So clearly he has some type of control over them. We don't know the full extent of the Beast Titan's powers. We don't. So what if they said that Eren and Zeke had a talk at some point? Nobody knows what was said. And they've made it a point to show... That's a hint right there.
They've made it a point to show that that Eren is very connected to his friends, that he would do anything for them. He wouldn't even give them his ability because he loves them too much. And then Connie's like, he laughed when I told him Sasha died. Maybe Eren is inside trying to fight whatever's controlling him. I don't think that's him. Go ahead.
When he laughed, he had a flashback of because I forgot who asked Connie what was Sasha's last word. But when he said it, that's when Eren laughed, and then he had a flashback. And Zeke was sitting right there, tied up.
Zeke's always been close by every time Eren's been Eren, when he's been under this control, it seems. So, because clearly that's how Eren got over there. Zeke must have taken Eren over there at some point, because they didn't even. It appears they didn't know Eren left and went over there until he sent that letter. So it's like he has to have some type of control over him. So, and maybe, Eren is an emotional person and his emotions are his strong suit. So maybe when Sasha died, it triggered something inside. Like Eren himself was so emotional, it just triggered the laugh. Like he couldn't cry. You know how they say laugh to keep from crying? Maybe what he was, for a second, in a way, overcoming whatever was controlling him to let out his emotional frustration, and it just turned into a laugh. I don't think that's Eren. And how he was aggressive with Hanji, it just doesn't seem like him. None of it seems like him. And they're purposely showing us these flashbacks to show that he wasn't like this. This was only 2 years ago, so what changed? Right. What changed? It doesn't seem like nothing drastic has happened to them. Nothing any more traumatizing than they've already been through. So I'm like, what?
Not like he lost another person.
Right.
Right. So it has to be some type of mind control. And Zeke's making all these plans, talking about activating the rumbling and all this stuff. Like he seems to really want control. And then the other thing that alarms me is now that I bring up that ability that he can do when he can turn people into Titans. He and Levi are in that forest right now, surrounded by Titan, or not by Titans, by just other Eldians. So I'm guessing the people that Zeke can turn into Titans are Eldians. We know and they also, like they said it before, but they also made it a point in this episode to bring up that we don't even know if the Ackermans can turn into Titans. So what if Zeke is able to turn all those Eldians next to Levi into Titans? Since Levi can't turn, they're going to naturally attack him, and he's going to try to use that to kill Levi. And whatever he's doing to control Eren is going to be unleashed. Huh?
I don't want to hear that. Just that.
I'm sorry. I know you don't want to hear that about your favorite, but then Eren is going to be, whatever's controlling him is going to be unleashed over there, and they're going to have to fight him. Mikasa is already at the point where she's like, it won't come to that. I'm not going to do that. But what if she has to? What if whatever is controlling Eren is too powerful and he can't come back? Then she has to kill him. Because if Levi's not there, she's the one who can. She's the only one who can. She and Levi are the top warriors here. Armin can turn into a Titan, but he's going to kill everybody else. He can't risk turning behind the walls. So Armin, in that sense, is useless. He would have to leave, turn, and then come back. But even then, he'd have to get through the wall. He'd be destroying stuff. His heat is too much. So it's like, what are they setting up here? Go ahead, you can talk now. I just wanted to let all that off my chest because this was a lot.
That was a good guess. Oh my God.
That was I feel like my best theory.
So Levi and the rest of the Eldians are outside the walls.
Remember last episode, Levi took Zeke to the forest and said, there's no boulders in here and a lot of treetops, which is good for our ODM gear. Basically saying, you go here because I'm going to have the best chance of killing you here if you try to betray us. So that's why they're keeping him in the forest, because he's at a disadvantage. But Levi would be at it. Now, the disadvantage would turn to Levi if he's trapped with all these Titans surrounding him. Yes, Levi can take on as many Titans as possible, but he can't do that and fight the Beast Titan alone when all these threats are solely focused on him.
Right.
And he only has a limited amount of gas. We've been watching the OVAs, y'all. We ain't reacting to them, but we've been watching, and it just made me think how they were saying Levi, his speeds causes him to use more gas than a normal person would. So I'm like worried he's gonna run out of gas and stuff, like because of how quickly he has to maneuver himself to do what he does.
And Mikasa did the same thing, because if you remember when Armin told Mikasa that Eren got eaten, and she was like, and then she gathered all the rest of them, and they were all scared, and she snapped them out of their chest and was like, come on, we have to keep fighting. She took off, and she was using too much speed. She does the same thing that Levi does.
That Acumen rage, I'm afraid for what's gonna happen. I am, and I've predicted the first half, and I was completely wrong. So not 100% wrong, but I was mostly wrong about most of my predictions the first half. So I could be completely wrong. I could just be making my own version of Attack on Titan in my head. But this is what I'm interpreting right now, what I'm predicting.
Hanji's out there too, with Levi.
You mean in skill?
Huh?
In skill? Or you're saying out in the forest?
Yeah.
If Hanji turns, that would be so horrible. Because that would essentially kill her, because he'd have to kill him. And he's probably just as close with Hanji as he was with Eren.
Yeah.
And more time has passed. So imagine that. Imagine if Hanji turns and he has to kill her to save his own life. Because there's no turning her back unless she comes back and eats somebody with one of the 9 abilities, which is only Armin and Eren. Imagine that. That is going to be horrible. I didn't see Hanji out there. I'm going to have to look at that again. But
No. Eren is out there, right? In the forest?
No, Eren's still locked up.
He's not he's not like locked up outside the forest. He's locked up inside the gate?
He's locked up inside the walls in the prison, yeah.
Oh, then I don't think Hanji's out there. But
okay. That was horrible. I didn't see her there, but the shot was only a second, so maybe I thought you saw something I didn't. But okay, good, because I don't need Hanji out there dying because I just don't trust them. It's the final season. They can kill off whoever they want, and it don't matter because the show's going off. So it's like we already lost Sasha, and I can already tell there's going to be a big death. But if they have to kill Eren because that's not Eren and Mikasa's the one, I don't think I can take it.
Yeah.
And then somebody has to inherit this ability because Eren, it just doesn't make sense to me. It confuses me because it seems like they're contradicting themselves. The episode when they were burying Sasha, he didn't want peace. He wanted to go fight. But then this episode, he's like, well, I don't want to do the rumbling if we can find another way, if we can find a way to peace. So again, what changed in between those two events, and then what changed between present and that event? So like he's saying he don't want to do all these things, but it's like he's flipping, but I'm not understanding why. Maybe I need to go watch these episodes back to back, but it feels like Eren's constantly switching week to week, and I don't understand.
Zeke is out there with Levi.
Yes, in the forest.
And
yeah.
Yeah, it's just Levi.
But there was other scouts, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but
those scouts.
Those are no faces.
Right, which is why I feel like he's gonna turn them.
Yeah.
This is bad. Or you know what else?
No, I don't. So tell me.
Plot twist. Oh my god, I just thought about this. A scene we might have overlooked. Remember those guys that were talking about Historia and they were drinking their wine? And then
Wait. It's been Historia's pregnant in present day, right?
Yes.
She's already had kids since those 2 years. So that might be her second, third, fourth.
It could be because it's been 2 years. That was 2 years ago when she decided to do that. So she could have, it takes 9 months to have a kid, so she could have at least had 2, and she could be on her
third. Right. Fourth or third, yeah.
She could only have had 2 at the most. So this could be her third or this could be her second, depending on how long she decided to wait. But Zeke seemed to be urgent with her having kids. So, but what I was going for is the guy. Remember, they didn't touch back on this, but the guy that was drinking the wine and all that. Remember the guy who I can't think of his name, but the one whose food Sasha likes so much. He's a Marleyan. He said, "How about you give them this bottle instead?" As he was saying that as if that was gonna kill them or something. And I was waiting to see it play out, but nothing happened with that song.
Yeah, that's what I thought was doing the railroad. I thought it like made the one guy agree to help with the railroad. Connie, I think it was Connie, said we wouldn't be out here if that idiot didn't agree.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I thought the same thing. But what I was going for was, we know that whole group that they brought in, Yana with the yellow hair, all them, they're loyal to Zeke. They see Zeke as a god, their god. So they might be, now the episode is called, the next one is called Deceive. So it could be about deceiving, Falco and Gabi, but what if our people are being deceived? What if Zeke came in here, let these people get captured, and has been playing them the whole time, and this group, Yana and all these people that they invited over, is going to betray them? Dang. We don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they come to the forest and he turns them into Titans. Because I don't know what the full extent of how he can turn people into Titans, but I know he's on his side when he was fighting. He turned Eldians into Titans. So I don't know if he has to give them something before, but the Marleyans that are already over here, they could easily be working for him and go to that forest and he can turn them. Like, I don't know how that works, but he's either going to turn these people in this forest or he's going to turn Yana and all them. I don't know how this is going to go, but I don't trust nobody at this point. I'm going to be honest with you. I trust Hanji, Levi, Connie, Jean, Mikasa. We can't trust Eren. That's it. I trust them. And maybe Pixis. Maybe.
Who's Pixis?
Pixis, Commander Pixis. He's the one when Yana and them was delivering the serum and they had their guns pointed up at him, and he was like, "Sorry for being so cautious." But it's got to be that way.
I checked Pixis. Yeah.
Yeah. So this can go a lot of ways. It really could, sister. It really could. I'm excited. This is one of the few shows like I love predicting, even if I'm wrong, because I feel like it can go so many ways. Like, you know what I mean? Because there's so much always constantly happening. Like, it's so good. They write this show so good. Like, I love this show. I'm so sick. This is a lot. I'm sick.
I wish like billionaires could donate to this show for like requesting like 8 more seasons.
They're following the manga. So since the manga is ending, like I said, I told you, each episode is based off one of the books, so they follow it page for page.
Yeah.
So they're only going as far as the manga. So I hope, because they ain't announced part 2 yet, so I'm hoping they do that soon, because there's no way, the manga's not finished yet, so the show can't be ending in a few episodes if the manga's not done. How would we get the story?
Right.
So we'll see. But anything else you want to add? Because I feel like I can talk all day, but I don't want to do that.
No.
All right. Well, be sure to let us know what you guys thought.
Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Subscribe to Patreon for full reactions.
We'll see you guys on the next one.
Bye.